According to the Oxford Dictionary, the word Jagoff is defined as a noun, which means a stupid, irritating, or...
Here's how Pittsburghers define a word Jagoff. When someone cuts you off on a parkway. Jagoff!
Or someone scares the out of you.
Yeah, Jagoff!
Or it's a term of endearment.
How you been, Jagoff?
This is Mark Madden.
Hi, this is Larry Richard.
This is Kevin Wildbill.
Hey, this is Kurt Angle.
Hi, this is Rocky Blair.
Hey, it's Rick Seaback.
Hi, this is Greg Brown.
Hi, I'm Tyler Kennedy.
This is Santonio Holmes.
And this is the YaJagoff podcast.
Are we cool? Good to go now, yeah?
Yeah, it's good to go.
All right, thank you, guys.
Yeah, they caught me like a scalpel. Well, your iron words can kill or they can heal. Well, let us strong together, give you pain or give you pleasure. Well, let us strong together, ain't it funny how they make you feel? Words are weapons if you let them break me down or make me fall. Words of power when you make them help me rise over it all. Just a bunch of letters that weigh nothing at all. Just a bunch of words that mean the weight of the world. You piece them all together, you can flavor them with poison. You piece them all together, you can flavor them with love. So weapons if you let them break me down or make me fall. Words of power when you make them help me rise over it all. Iron words, yeah, they caught me like a scalpel. Let us strong together, ain't it funny how they make you feel? Oh, your iron words, yeah, they caught me like a scalpel. Your iron words can kill or they can heal. Let us strong together, they give you pain or give you pleasure. Let us strong together, ain't it funny how they make you feel? Oh, no, no, your iron words, yeah, they caught me like a scalpel. Well, let us strong together, ain't it funny how they make you feel?
These are good musicians.
We truly cannot keep up with opportunities Honda provides for purchasing the perfect used or new small car, family car, or maybe even first-time buyer car.
Just like the variety of options in vehicles, Rorick Honda is proud of its Rorick Advantage. Because where else do you receive a full checkup on your vehicle when it is time to get your oil changed? So many perks, and they are all part of the Rorick Advantage just by purchasing a vehicle. So as always, visit Rorick.com for all of your vehicle needs.
And now let's start the Jagoff podcast once again from Jay and Ethan's house here, our 2020 Porch Tour stop number 2.
Perfect.
All right. So this is the Jagoff podcast. We hit record, so now we're really
So we don't
recording
have
the
to do it
podcast.
again. Okay.
Right.
Third time's
Right.
not a charm.
And if you're on Facebook Live, you saw that we were recording this. You saw Living with Monsters just perform. And, and
That was real. We
they're
don't
our-
have to do it.
Yeah, they're our musician this
Yeah.
week.
Mhm.
But if you're listening to the podcast for the very first time, we put this out every week. We appreciate if you go to iTunes and say something nice about the podcast.
Right.
And subscribe to it on radio.com.
Yeah.
And if you think you should be a cool guest, you should email us.
So this is where we tell you what was on our blog, but we are never ahead of time, so we don't know what's on the blog next week because we're ahead of schedule here.
Right.
So instead of talking about what's on the blog, we'll proudly tell you that we were nominated for City Paper's 2 categories, Pittsburgh Blog and Pittsburgh Podcast. Insert applause. Thank you. Yeah. So
Nominated doesn't mean anything.
No, we have to win
appreciate
now.
those who did nominate.
Yes.
So we need you to go to bust the mailbox.
And if you have met me, I'm winning this bitch. So we need to get people to vote. So please, we're in it now. So let's do it.
Right. So jam that mailbox up. So, and we also have to remind you that, again, this is the Porch Tour. We changed the Porch Tour around a little bit. As you know, we used to do things with Zachary's Mission. We're still going to do that this year, but J&D Waterproofing is our sponsor. We take them to every house.
And we're on our 3rd year with them.
I bought that.
It's pretty
And
cool.
It'll be the 3rd year for the fireplace tour as well.
Yeah,
So.
with J&D Waterproofing. So with J&D, we have Larry. Harry, you coming over?
Come on over. Sit in the hot seat there.
Couple steps. You got about 8 steps to sit in this nice squiggle chair, and we'll chat it up.
80 years, 81 years, J&D Waterproofing. How many have you been with?
3 years now.
Oh,
Okay.
we were expecting like a decade. Like we wanted some big
I got 40
answer.
years of sales,
Oh,
but no, I've been with these guys about 3 years.
okay.
And we do a lot of waterproofing.
Yeah. What's the summer like? We've asked Sean this, but you're the sales guy. What is the most requested service for summertime?
It's always waterproofing, but we do a lot of roofs,
Yeah.
decks over,
Yeah.
roofs over decks, windows, doors.
And it's a true story because he actually walked into Jay and Ethan's house to look at his porch. Like, he literally
I did.
was like,
I got to
"Let me
do a
see."
screened-in porch, but we have a railing around it, and they're very similar, so I thought I'd try.
Okay.
Nicely
Yeah.
done.
So if that's your summertime thing, then what about what's the all the time question? Like, how do you get waterproofing in there if somebody says, I want you to do my windows or I want you to do a new deck? Does waterproofing like always become the topic of conversation in some way?
Sometimes it does, but usually people are like tunnel vision. They want the windows.
Yeah, they
They
want
want
what
the
they
windows
want.
to be done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, what did I sell? Windows last week along with the roof. Oh, I
But
got
it
paint.
seems-
a
it
lot
seems
of
like
painting
as-
too. We do
it
a
seems
lot
like
of
as
painting
many people
houses.
sell windows as sell mattresses at this point. Like,
Right.
how do you guys differentiate yourself as far as that works?
Well, we got a good window. We got about half a dozen we use, but we have a good window just like everybody has.
Okay.
The big thing is price.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, geez, what I came out against. One guy was 24.5, 2 guys are 17.5, and we came in at 12.
Wow.
So I mean,
I can
there's a heck of a
attest. Yeah,
difference.
same thing. Yeah.
So I mean, it goes on all the time like this.
Yeah. And
Right.
customer service, of course. How do you stay in business 80 years without that customer service?
Hey, you don't have the service, you're not in business. It gets
Yeah.
around real quick.
And what about proximity? You guys are located more in the south, right?
Well,
in
we're
the
in
Canonsburg
Canonsburg,
area?
but we go in a big radius. Usually for waterproofing, we'll go about anywhere. Some of the other jobs, it may be a little bit too long.
Sure.
As far as that goes. But windows, roofing's fine.
Okay.
We get into more home remodeling, interior work when we do electric, plumbing, and so forth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone a little bit limited.
Okay.
Maybe an hour's
Got it.
difference.
All right.
All
Are you
right.
going to come to the next 2 J&D Waterproofing Porch Tours?
Am I?
Yes.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part about them?
Uh,
The spread?
you just hang out.
Yeah.
Free food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Can't beat the price for booze, so I mean, why not?
That's why I do it too.
Yeah.
that's what I
Wow.
do.
Not the
I know.
company. Wow.
All right,
Hey,
awesome.
Rachel, I noticed you're lush. I mean, you got all kinds of stuff.
I know. What's going on? They're all little sips.
Well, we
They're all little-
appreciate you guys always.
Got a
We,
zing in there,
J&D
that's all.
Waterproofing. We appreciate
You can
guys.
follow them on Facebook, Instagram,
Yep.
Twitter,
Oh,
and
yeah.
we can get you
And
on
you
the
can follow
internet.
Harry Larry home if you want.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Harry
Cool.
Larry.
All right.
Here,
Let's
J&D
hear it for
Waterproofing.
J&D Waterproofing. Yeah.
And now we're getting Jay.
Jay, get in
from
here.
J&D with a couple of friends. We're going to do a little 6 degrees of Jay as the homeowner.
First
How
of all,
about
we
that?
got to fix this Rourke Honda crap.
Oh,
on this
here we
microphone.
go. Here we go.
Like,
Here we go.
listen, they're great. You guys all love Rourke, but like, come on now.
Well, then you have to
This
fist
is
fight.
like, okay, so we're doing the 6 degrees of Mazda right now, is what she meant
There
to say.
we go.
It is the 6 degrees
So
of
Jay,
Mazda.
you're not just a guy that works at Mazda. You are somewhere in like the top 5 of the entire country.
Actually, so I don't know. I just never brag about it, but I'm the top 3 in the nation for the entire
about
world
that?
of Mazda
Yeah.
sales.
That's
If
crazy.
I were top 3 in the nation for anything, it would come up in every conversation. I'm just telling you, like, I'd be at a communion and I'd be like, oh, how's
But
the holy?
The funny thing is I can't just really take all the credit for it, because obviously Mazda makes an excellent product, and
Yeah.
that is the start. But also, it's just when you have, sales, staff, and service that Rourke provides, it's
Yeah.
just incredible that it's almost like, think of it an engine, like all the cylinders are working, like that car's going fast. So it's just, it's really an awesome experience,
You're
because our
always
store
car.
really makes the difference. So I attribute, just our entire team kind of helping to elevate to where I am in the nation.
Aw.
You with
Look at
your
that guy.
speech. I love that.
Now listen.
Look.
So we were at your house before. You and Ethan here welcomed us for a fireplace tour. We're now in your garage for the porch tour, which is probably the best one. You're going to get a 10 out of 10 on our
I know
post
they
at
need
this
to like
point.
get the diss our porch, yo. Like,
Yeah.
I love the
Right.
diss our porch.
So, but listen, we heard a lot about you at the last stop, and so we thought we should bring in people that know you and answer questions about you.
Oh.
What kind of neighbor are you? What kind of coworker are
yeah,
you?
that
Who are
now
the
I'm
people-
scared.
Yeah.
Who
but in the
are the
meantime-
people in Jay's neighborhood?
Nicely done. Are you allowed to sing that? I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
But listen,
Chris Murphy, the music entrepreneur, said it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
music entrepreneur.
So the one thing you have to know is that not only do you get John and Rachel to come and hang out at your house, and you put out more food than we've ever seen in our entire life, but you get Mary Mac Bakehouse pancake mixes and
Have you ever
muffin
had those?
mixes.
Have we ever
I
given
have
those to you?
not, but listen, I
Oh.
have never met a pancake I haven't liked.
Yeah, you're gonna
so-
love it.
Yeah, and you
Okay.
get, we brought 24 pieces of Ernie Ritchie sausage and 24 buns from Mancini's.
Yeah.
Everyone knows I like a good sausage.
And
so.
some. Taddy Vogel cider. You know, you leave me out to dry to say the rest of it. Thanks a lot. So Taddy Vogel cider is. We had it at our last porch tour. It was phenomenal.
brought it.
Wait
We
till
could
you
try it here.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
gosh,
think we
really?
have it. Yeah.
Okay, please do not tempt me. I'll drink anything with the proof. Like,
we
I'm
were
ready.
Expecting because cider can sometimes be like not like bitter or sour. It's amazing.
It is.
Yeah,
It is
we
very
really
good.
liked it. We're excited.
And you
for
get
to try it.
Fathom Pub Sauce, which is a new product.
Yeah.
And you're going to love the
Oh my gosh, it's just like I have to like host this more often for all the freebies. My goodness, you guys. I
That's
like
fine. We're fine with
it's like
that.
the
And
lap
we'll-
of luxury
We'll
here.
bring you more bags that say this is my Jagoff, my bag, your Jagoff.
I know. I feel really bad. So they brought this grocery bag that said, "These are my groceries, YaJagoff," and I saw it and I'm like, okay, like nobody was around, so I quickly snuck it in the cabinet, like thinking that they're not gonna know. And then I felt guilty, and I told Rachel, I'm like, okay, I snatched your bag, and she's like, oh, that was for you anyway. So
Yeah,
I was really
I'm a
happy to hear
gifter,
that.
So luckily it all worked out.
I mean, I was gonna steal it anyway, so it's
It
fine.
worked out.
So
I know,
so
John.
we
Who are we
have-
calling out?
We have your neighbor here. We have your coworker Jen here.
We actually have a lot of people here.
And,
So Jen,
who would you like to come in and have us ask?
Oh my gosh, ask questions. I am not sure. I do say I love kind of the business theme. So it's really cool that J&D Waterproofing, obviously he was on the fireplace tour as
Yeah,
well. And so I think like kind of keeping that business thing. So I was actually it's funny because someone that had helped John out with the sale of their house, Christian, is here. So I would
Christian,
certainly
first up. Christian Wilhelm.
love him to say a few words, maybe
All
of
right,
what's
come
going
up
on.
here, Christian.
And
Come on,
actually, our
Christian.
neighbor across the street, like when you talk about a guy that has like 18 different businesses through Pittsburgh, it's
That's what
really
you said.
incredible.
What kind of businesses?
Oh my gosh! Like he has AC and cooling. He's like starting a pool company now. Like it just everything all into real estate, flipping houses. Like Lenny is really
Lenny,
an
are you
incredible
coming up?
person.
Lenny.
Lenny.
You're coming up together. Lenny and Christian are hanging out. Do we need a chair for Lenny?
I think Lenny should sit on.
Oh,
Jay's
he got
lap.
it. He got it.
You know, I don't think his wife would like that.
Women get
Well, we're
weird.
getting you guys a mic here somewhere on the way.
Are we doing this shots? Is that happening, or am I?
Listen, I poured everybody
square.
shots. Like it's hot as hell up here. It's just like let's get this started.
Is he coming back? Oh, he got another one. Okay, cool.
Just
Sir-
count the 10 in there.
I apologize for the Facebook Live. I am like sweating
Same.
profusely.
I'm
It's
glistening, and I
ridiculous.
don't usually glisten at high altitudes like I am.
It's not even like glistening. Like literally, like I'm.
It's a little bit of a pour. Yeah. Just count to 10.
Out
Christian.
loud?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Can Christian even
7,
count to 10?
8,
Like-
9, 10.
We switch them around. Okay. All right. Cool. All right.
Next. So, well, you're next.
All right. So we have. So let's see. These are your neighbors.
So actually, Lenny is my neighbor, who's really incredible. So is his wife. They have 3 gorgeous little kids,
Aw.
and it's always kind of fun to see them on the go all the time. Like Lenny, when I tell you, is crazy busy, is always busy doing stuff. And then Christian, I actually had the pleasure. I knew of him. And obviously, he's incredible in real estate. And then it was kind of cool because actually just last night, I got the chance to meet him in person. Actually, everybody can wish Lenny a happy belated birthday.
Oh,
yesterday was his birthday, so we went out on a nice little boat ride for it. Or today's his birthday. So everyone, like,
All right.
no, damn it. Now,
Happy
like,
birthday,
I feel
It's
Lenny.
not belated. It's
Almost-
right this second. Surprise, Lenny.
Exactly,
Yeah.
surprise.
See, you didn't know we were bringing Ernie Ritchie sausage for your
Yeah,
birthday.
it's your birthday
Yeah.
surprise.
Right. So Lenny, let's talk to you. First of all, Christian is a guy who sold my house and is an amazing realtor.
That's Pittsburgh for you,
You
right?
know, grew up in the neighborhood, like knew him since he was like this tall, and now he's like a millionaire.
And now he's
so
not-
yeah.
wow, who said
and I
that?
do a podcast.
There you go. There you go.
Right.
No,
More
but
popular than me, though.
So Lenny, let's talk some neighborhood stuff on Jay and Ethan here. Do they cut their grass well? Do they maintain? Are they a good neighbor?
are you kidding?
You know, what do you think?
Sad part is
Here,
Lenny
together.
actually hooked us up with the guy to cut our grass. We don't cut it anymore. It's like,
Good answer, Lenny. Good answer.
You have any good stories? Any good dirt on Jay and Ethan?
I have a couple.
Okay,
Okay.
let's hear it.
So Jay and Ethan came to me. You know, again, it's hard to grow grass in this neighborhood, especially with
God,
new
yeah.
construction. But you know, they needed some help for sure. I mean, they were struggling, and you know, we
We're
got
always
you know,
struggling.
got them irrigation, got them some water moving, and it's looking good now. I mean, it's one of the greenest lawns in the neighborhood.
It's gorgeous.
And it needed some help, but we got you there, I think. So.
Nice.
Do you
I
know how
find that
easy it is
crazy.
to just not even worry about it? Like, we just literally look outside and everyone's like, oh my God, your grass is beautiful. And it's just like, yeah, we don't even lift a finger. Like, it's actually, it's
awesome.
incredible.
Lenny, how about neighbor-wise? Do they always have parties like this when you're trying to get your kids to sleep or what?
Yeah, their parties are typically later, early morning parties. you know.
It's perfect to use that pancake mix.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah, that was a
see.
good segue.
My wife and Jay, I mean, they're both fantastic chefs, but sorry, Beth Ellen, but he blows her out of the water.
That's what I've heard.
And welcome to Dr. Phil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Oh my gosh. And Christian, all we hear about is seriously talk about Cowden Creek, one of the best upcoming, right, real estate places.
Absolutely.
And you sold John's house, so seriously, you can do the work. If that happened, like I remember we were going over.
She's like, if you sold that piece of crap, you
no,
must be.
but we were like, what the hell are we gonna do?
That house had huge upside potential. Huge upside potential.
Yeah,
Great
yeah.
location.
Oh my
There you go.
gosh.
There you go.
I mean, I don't want to downer this or anything, but what is the real estate market like right now? What's going on? I know.
So I've been in real estate for 7 years.
Okay.
I fortunately haven't seen a downturn in the market, and everyone around is, the market's crazy, the interest rates are low. That's all true.
Yeah.
I think that the whole COVID situation gave people a lot of time to walk around their house while they were stuck at home and think. and I think that's like one of the reasons why it's so nuts right now. But it's been strong ever since that I've been in, and my team, I have a team with a partner and 8 other people, and I mean, we cannot put the phone down or put the laptop down. So fortunately, we've stayed very busy.
That's
throughout the
awesome.
whole
I'm
thing.
so glad to
It's
hear
awesome.
that.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like you're not a dumb guy with your money either. You've invested in things like that. You've helped other people as
That's
well.
right.
Yeah. So, I mean, who knows? You're 27, 26, and they have
He's
that
like, don't
kind
add
of-
a year. That's
to
like
kind
me.
of have that forward thinking that you're a young man that's doing well for yourself, but you're giving back to the community, and I love that. You're a good dude. I'll just tell you that.
Absolutely,
You're a good
I
dude.
appreciate that.
John
man.
says,
you get
"Aw."
what you give.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's a great
Yeah.
point. That's a great point.
Well, Len, what? Let's see. What's the next party you're gonna? I guess we're coming to your house. Is that right? Next?
That's what we heard.
Next weekend.
Volunteer next porch party. It'll be done by then.
All right.
You two have to try to do 6 degrees of J. Do you accept the challenge?
Oh God.
Are you ready? Oh, you accept it? All right.
I guess I'm in.
Number one.
Just guess at it, guys.
Number one. What is Jay's favorite color? That's a tough one. Yeah, just say it. You could talk. Yeah, I guess.
Phone
My God,
friend.
this
I
isn't
feel like we needed like a music
we just
interlude. I
died,
didn't know
like,
this
years
was going to
ago,
be
you
like a
guys.
serious conversation. Yeah, like that's Jeopardy though. I
have
don't
an
know.
answer.
Okay,
All
we're
right.
ready. But I don't have anything to compare it to, so he could lie.
It's all right. Like
Okay.
I already know this. I'm good.
Okay, go.
No, let Jay answer. What is?
Jay.
What is
No,
it?
he didn't say. They didn't
Oh
talk.
yeah, they should write it. Okay, go ahead.
Go, guys, go.
We should guess out loud.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
gonna say, judging by his bow tie and his shirt, we're gonna go with black.
Oh gosh. Listen, I like the dark shades. I do, but my favorite color is actually green.
Green, like
Oh,
me.
there
Yeah.
you go.
I know, like
All
what?
right.
Me.
Okay.
Oh,
I
okay.
wear a lot of black, but I
swore you
love
said
green.
wood. I'm sorry.
No.
Next question.
Next question, guys. Ready? This is so easy. Pay attention, like you just said. What is
Okay.
his number one fashion staple?
The bow tie.
Yeah, okay. I got to give it to them. It is bow tie.
Yeah,
I
that's
literally
awesome.
probably have over 120 bow ties in my closet right now.
How about that? Would anybody guess that? 120. Yeah, same. I've been in that closet too. All right. What?
I've been in the closet for years. you
I
guys.
I mean, you
knew
opened it
that was
up for
coming.
him.
Yeah.
All right, Lenny, being the neighbor, what do you think is his biggest pet peeve?
Lenny should get this. Lenny really should get this
Oh, boy,
because
Lenny.
he literally sees me like 4 times a week in the driveway doing it.
Wow.
Lenny, the pressure's
I sure
on.
hope it comes out clean.
Guys, you know you
Right.
win nothing, right? You are not winning.
Oh, here.
Yeah, it's-
Talking to microphone there.
All right, talk in the mic.
Yeah.
Jay's pet peeve is keeping a clean car.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Dirty cars are my pet peeve, you guys. I'm sorry. It's not that I'll judge you like really
will.
harshly,
No,
but
you will.
just maybe a touch.
Yes, you do. You do it even at Mazda.
I'm just so
because-
glad we came up with washing the car in the
Yeah.
driveway.
All right. What is the thing
Right.
that he does on his day off? Like, what is that one thing? It's my day off. I'm going to do this. And look, they're whispering again. And I love it because they're winning nothing. Literally.
into it.
I can't
They're-
even offer
that's
them
how
a thing.
competitive they are. Yeah.
Yeah. Get it, guys. What is it?
On his day off,
Yeah.
he likes to cook something new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
wash
Look,
the car
look,
and cook is what I get to do on
Look
my
at
Wednesdays.
you.
Well, sort of my day off. It's funny, like I have to keep asking myself, like, day off. Is it one word? Is it 2 words? Like
Yeah.
it never happens very often.
No.
So it's just like have to remind myself.
I
But yeah,
gotcha.
it's absolutely trying new
Same.
recipes.
Right. We got to learn how to make some of these things that you do. Okay. Number 5, because number 6 is our segue for somebody. But number
Oh.
5, something that Jay hates to do. And you kind of answered it, I guess. Like the grass maintenance. Would you say that? I don't know.
There's a lot of things he hates.
Oh, okay. What does he hate to do from a neighbor?
Yeah, grass maintenance is big.
Okay.
Okay.
He loves to clean. I mean,
Yeah, same.
And that's the thing, like, does anyone really love to clean? Like, I don't love to clean. I, like, just do it because I love the outcome. But Lenny nailed it's maintenance. Like, when
Yeah.
it comes to mowing the grass or doing stuff around the house, it's just like, there's people that do that. Like, no thanks.
There you go. And any of those people who are available, let us know.
Right.
Jay.
Yeah.
All right,
Put
so
your
number
quote in the
6.
comments.
Number 6, we kind of toss you guys because we're
Oh,
bringing
number
in.
6,
Number
okay.
6 is Nikki because we want to know what is your go-to food.
Edibles? Oh, I'm sorry. I said that. that came out so
What is
fast, you
Jay's
guys.
go-to food?
It's
Lenny?
it's Chinese, I guess. Oh,
Oh,
shit. I'm sorry.
shoot.
Jay, you win the bonus round.
Yeah.
Oh.
Listen, Lenny, where can we follow you with all the stuff you have going on?
yeah. So my building's actually right over the hill here. Pittsburgh Heating and Air Conditioning. So
Okay.
Full service residential and light commercial heating and air conditioning company.
Okay.
You know,
Desperately needed this time of year.
yeah, people
now.
people are nuts during AC season.
No
man.
question. Yeah.
I mean, you know, wintertime you can throw another blanket on or get a
I
space
agree.
heater going, but people get mean.
Yeah, they do get
People
mean.
get mean, but
Yeah.
again, it's been good. You know, COVID really didn't affect us.
That's awesome.
A ton. You know, because you know it started obviously during the cold season, but no,
Yeah.
I mean it's been good. Great customers, great following. So
Okay.
Nice.
Christian,
Nice.
where does everybody follow you?
First, you can follow Cowden Creek Realty on Instagram or Facebook. We have about 60 agents, and like I said, we're based out of Robinson Township. And then me, Facebook, Christian Wilhelm. You'll see all of my listings, all the stuff that my team does, or follow Instagram at Wilhelm Real Estate, and keep you up to date there as well of what me and the company have going on in our team and
That's awesome.
updates on the market. So
There you go.
Do
Nice.
it.
All
Do
right.
it.
Cool.
All right, you two
You guys are
out,
done. Now it's
and we're
time to bring
bringing up-
Nikki
That's
in.
the thing. Like,
Thank
it's
you, guys.
funny
Thanks, guys.
because you're
Thanks,
always
guys.
like your to-go-to food. And when I tell you, the one thing that I absolutely love about doing this is it's like I feel like you're in a world that's so hard to trust.
Yeah.
And it's literally so. I found obviously Nikki through Ethan, and it's absolutely she is unbelievable, incredible.
Yeah.
To the point that it's just like Nikki, I'm having 20 people, and I can't even finish a sentence. She's like, I got it. She's like, I have ideas. She'll come here, and then just look how absolutely beautiful everything is. Like.
So she
Spreads,
decorates
literally
as well?
a complete garden in the garage. Like
Yeah.
she literally is like I would put her up against the absolute best.
Oh, I
Like
love
is
hearing
incredible.
that. And if you go into the kitchen, I mean, she has a system down, and she
Oh,
knows.
she's like she is ready. She got here and she like knew exactly what to do, had her game plan, and I think that's important. And she's incredible. So guys, it was an absolute pleasure to speak. I'm gonna toss the mic over to Nikki and get
that's
drunk, you
cute.
guys. So
That's cute that you think you're done.
Yeah.
You need your. That's
Oh,
so
Nikki.
cute.
crap.
Nikki, give us one
That's
good
so
dirt
cute.
story about Jay. Come on, give us one good
Oh,
dirt
no.
story
What
about
am I
Jay.
giving this?
No, you looking
This
at
one?
yeah, right
she
there.
got one.
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing about Jay is that he is absolutely hard to read. So I think the first party that I did was their holiday party.
Okay.
And him being the perfectionist that he
Oh,
is,
yeah.
if he's not a part of the process, he needs to trust you first.
Correct.
And then once he does, he lets me do whatever I want. But he didn't trust me then or know me then, and it was something that Ethan had planned.
Okay.
So I came in and pretty much took over everything.
Okay.
So at the end of it, I thought that he hated me.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case.
No, my God.
It took like a week and a half. No. But he reached out and said he loved it. I think it was just that he was overwhelmed by the amount of people.
Sure.
And the fact that he wasn't a part of the process. But once we got started,
Yeah.
I mean, he has hired me for so many things and thrown so much business my way.
But you
So
talk about
he-
a signature.
Holiday
I will
parties,
always
I've heard,
remember
yeah.
the holiday party. So our island is over, I think it is almost 9.5 feet.
Okay.
And she did a entire charcuterie board across 9.5 feet. It was the most incredible thing. And I think I might be able to still have pictures that I can share on the Facebook site.
Do it.
Like, it was absolutely incredible. She's amazing.
Let's
Keep
do
in
it
mind, though,
again.
It was a brand new island with a beautiful marble, and he was like,
I was a little like, oh my God, there's
Yeah.
just like raw pepperoni just slapped on
we
the
made it
and I'm
work
just,
though.
I heard that story.
Tell us about your catering business.
So here's a couple things. I actually have an event planning business. I do catering as well because I genuinely just love to cook. The name of my company is Events by Natasha because my real name is actually Natasha.
Yeah.
Nikki's just a nickname.
Oh,
because
thank
my
God.
middle name
I
is
thought I got it
Nicole.
wrong and I just started
No,
calling her
no.
Nikki.
So Nikki or Natasha works either way. But
Okay.
I got started basically because I've been in the restaurant business for over 20 years. When I got pregnant with my daughter, who's 3 now, I just didn't want to go back to that hectic schedule,
Sure.
being on my feet all day. And the customers can just be brutal.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to just be able to make my own hours and do my own thing. I've always done parties from like back when I was a little girl.
Yeah,
You know,
sure.
throwing dinner parties for myself.
Yeah.
And
did
it just
that
kind
too.
of grew into doing weddings for people and volunteering and volunteering and volunteering. And then eventually I was like, I need to be paid for this.
Sure.
Right.
So other people's weddings, my own wedding reception, doing events for restaurants that I've worked at. I've worked at a lot of restaurants downtown, so I did a lot of events down there. after partnering with a couple people, it just didn't work out. So I just decided to
I
strike
know the
out on my
feeling.
own.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding.
I was just like, oh my God, Rachel just got like.
After working with Jay, I was like, I can't do this anymore.
I'm teasing.
No.
No.
But yeah, that's pretty
What's
much
your
how I did it.
go-to meal? If someone
or
says,
not even meal. Like if
Your
it's like
go-to-
this party and you really don't know, what's your like? Well, I'll throw this together.
So here's a tip that
Asking for a friend.
that I always tell people when entertaining. I know for me, I always keep emergency cheeses on hand. Cheeses, crackers, Italian meats. Now that's just as a staple, and I always have like a baking mix for like a quick batch of cookies or something like that, just in case you have to entertain really quickly. For me personally, my go-tos are always flatbreads and dips.
Which there is a ton here, you guys. So
yeah. So today I did some caprese flatbread. I did pear and goat cheese flatbread, some prosciutto flatbreads. And then everything was based on kind of summer ingredients that are kind of local right now. And then I made a corn and black bean salsa.
which is delicious. I can vouch.
Yeah, kind of copied it off of Trader Joe's corn salsa because their lines are insane right now.
Yeah, they really are.
So I didn't want to wait, so I just made it.
There you go.
So those are pretty much my go-tos. And alcohol, always.
Right, exactly.
Your lemonade is amazing.
Yeah, I made a Saint Germain lemonade that has Saint Germain and vodka in it. So
Saint Germain lemonade. All right, listen. Question of the day, because we could keep talking to you forever.
No.
You too. You ready? So we're. This is your porch tour.
Oh my gosh.
We're
okay.
sweating.
I gotta stand up. I gotta get ready for this.
We're glistening. She said.
Don't stand up. Is your porch used for one of the following? Is it morning coffee sipping, daytime iced tea refreshing, or evening beverage toasting?
So the funny thing is, actually, it's neither.
No,
because
three.
right
There's
now,
three. Coffee.
it has to be those three because right now it's an herb garden right now. But I would
Rachel's
say,
rules, dude, do not. You know what? You know what happens when you buck.
all
Rachel's
right,
rules.
I'm gonna answer the question and say for me because Ethan doesn't drink coffee, but I will say plenty of my Snapchats are like the sun rising because we're so fortunate that the way that our back deck faces, one of the reasons why we built on this lot. Was just the sunrise and the sunset is literally right behind us. So it is absolutely, it's gorgeous.
I feel
So
like we should just sleep over.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
you should, honestly.
Let's just see what happens.
yeah, I got sleepover.
Call my family.
Oh, I love it.
Oh yeah, call my family. And
Oh my
tell
God,
them.
yeah.
That
Oh my
functionality
God, I
will go
love
off.
it.
But definitely morning coffee.
Okay, I'm with you because I
Well,
think that's what I would want.
Jay, Ethan,
No,
thank
we
you.
need Nikki's answer. We need Nikki's answer. She has one.
Oh,
Go,
yes.
Nikki.
I do the first one and the last one. I have morning coffee whenever my daughter lets me.
Yeah.
If she sleeps in. And I drink wine out on my porch.
That's a good
Often.
one. Yeah, iced tea's out. I hear
Often.
ya. That's
I mean,
what I
if
would
there's,
do.
yeah.
So out.
I skip the middleman.
Me too.
Beginning and end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool, very cool. So right now you're going to listen to Living with Monsters as
Okay.
then we're going to talk to Chris Murphy, music entrepreneur, and then Kevin from the YMCA, and then we'll talk to Living with Monsters.
All right.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? The
well,
entrepreneur. I mean, I'm flattered.
Listen, here's what I know because I know the Rachel Rennebeck story, right? I knew you from totally 80s because
Right.
we shot a Jagging Around video, BR before Rachel.
Right.
And then you were as I understand how you created all of that. And then I hear you created some vending machine about
I did.
music. And then I hear you're working with other places to like create music venues and things like that. So I'm like, this is perfect. Music entrepreneur.
Well, I appreciate the entrepreneur part. I mean, I'm flattered. Flattered.
But it is true.
I mean, I've been around.
Yeah.
Right.
You're not doing the
you're
same.
old.
You're not doing the same old. You're
Yeah, right,
working,
right.
You're
I'm
working
not.
way through different things.
Right. So I call it the three-headed monster. Right.
Okay.
So musician, venue owner, and entertainment booking.
Okay.
Like you kind of, if you know all three of those things, then you're probably going to do okay. Right?
Okay.
So quite frankly, her dad is the guy that taught me everything about the business aspects of music. Right.
That's an awesome
So
point.
Jack
Yeah.
Hunt,
He did.
right? Johnny Angel from Johnny Angel and the Halos taught me everything there is to know about business. Like music is the easy
Same.
part. That's what he always said.
Dad, same.
Same. So I started doing a cappella in high school. I mean, I just found some old tapes of me singing like, I don't know, countertenor stuff really high. But,
Yep.
But we did an a cappella thing, I don't know, 95, 96. Came down to, was it Westview Danceland 2?
Yes.
Something like that,
Yeah.
right? And we did a little a cappella thing for Jack and Bubba,
Yeah.
right? And we opened their show.
Yeah.
And then we opened their
Isn't that
show
a cool
for
story?
15, 20 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was in some rock bands. One was Superstar Jones. This is when Nick's Fat City was still around in the 90s, and just kept doing it and doing it, right? Was supposed to go out to L.A. and do some boy band stuff, but then, like, this shirt's a little small, right? So as you progress through life, it gets a little rough.
Right.
Especially in the COVID times.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
And then Totally 80s, right? And as you know, a mechanism for Totally 80s, learning how to book bands was, I kind of, again, attribute that to Jack, but you have to kind of start somewhere.
Mhm.
Yep.
And because I was doing it for Totally 80s, then I just started doing it for other bands because they said, could you help me get into Jurgles? Could you help me get into the Rivers Casino? Could you help me get into the Craft House? And I thought to myself, well, I can charge for this, right? Not that I want to charge an exorbitant amount, but I've got the connection points.
Mhm.
So Fusion Entertainment, this is a really big orange circle. Fusion Entertainment is a booking organization that helps bands get into venues. Boom, boom, boom.
Are you listening?
Right?
I just looked. I gave my mom look. Did you guys notice?
It is warm in the garage.
Yes, it is.
And you know, at one point, I didn't have a connection point to owning a venue. So I talked to some of my acquaintances, Charlie Stage, Ron Safranco, and they asked me to be a partner in the Craft House Stage and Grill, which is in the South Hills. It's, you know, a music venue that houses national bands, local bands, regional bands, and as a result of that, it just kind of started to, you know, just get larger and larger over the course of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Chris, you've been around, and for God's sakes, don't let me ask about this this vending machine. But
Oh, yeah.
in this COVID time, coming out of the COVID, in the middle of, I don't even know where we are at this
You
point.
called it the COVID. I've
How-
never heard you do that.
How
It's like the Walmart.
Yeah, the Twitters, yeah. How do we help? You know, how can we help you, help bands? And, you know, we've done our
Yeah.
thing with some Facebook Lives, trying to get people to give them Venmo. And what should we be doing?
Well,
at
and
this
even we were talking, you know, not to interject with your bro convo here, but Chris and I were talking ahead of time, and we said the Save the Stages movement, right?
Absolutely.
These musicians, they're all feeling it. Not that there's so many points of essential workers, but it saddens us to know that the entertainment, I mean, that's what everybody thrives on. When you come home from your job, the entertainment is what you're hoping for, and with that gone, what do we do?
Yeah, well, first of all, the Save the Stages is an incredible thing,
Yes.
right? So not only is it helping entertainment, it's helping restaurants, bars, clubs, and
Correct.
so forth.
Yep.
You know, I can remember back in March, you know, we had our last show, I think it was the 14th of March, and then everything got shut down. Then Craft House opened back up June, the first weekend of June. We Totally 80s actually played June 5th or 6th, I think, and that was at 50%, right? And so 50% still people are reticent to come out. So you've got, you know, maybe 50 to 75% of 50%.
Yes.
Right? And so even just to keep your doors open from, you know, staff, wait staff, bar staff, management, even to stay open, there's cost. And I think the unfortunate part is I think there's a little bit of a delay in terms of communication between bands and venues as well, right? Bands want to play.
Yep.
You know, I'm a musician. I want to play, right? I actually made an informed choice, and I'll share this with everybody else. I actually left Totally 80s earlier in July.
Right.
And that's because I simply wanted to stay home with my family and focus on the things that I needed to. I've got 3 kids. They're old enough that they, I think, like me. My wife, I think, likes me. So
Kids, they hide it so well.
They do.
My kids do the same thing.
Yeah, it's crazy. But then, you know, everything got shut down again. And so to ramp back up and get inventory and get food and get, you know, alcohol, beer, spirits, that costs money. And so the communication between bands, venues, and quite frankly, what's happening throughout the state and throughout the nation, I think people just need to be open to communicating, right?
That's a great point. Yep.
It's tough because people have opinions, and everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Sure.
Right? But everyone's also entitled to talking about what means the most at any given time.
Right.
Well,
and
there's
listen
some-
and listen a
That's
little
right.
bit.
Yeah, and there's some part right. There's some part where you listen and actually think maybe this person has something they can help me with versus I'm hearing you, but I'm waiting to tell you what I'm about to tell
That's
you,
it.
right?
Yes.
That
That's
versus listening, I might actually learn something and appreciate, and then that's when everybody could start working together for sure, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's such a good
Yeah.
point.
It's difficult.
But you hit on another point, and not to kind of stack up, but I think he used the word entrepreneur, and I love that it was him and not me because I have fortunately known you for, I guess, 20 years now.
Yeah.
And you can easily use the word entrepreneur because you figured it out, right? You figured out, like you said, how does this work? Wow, these people need my services. That's exactly the business model we use.
Right.
People don't want to do social media, so we'll do it for you. We got this. You figured out how to use skills that you learned along the way. But in addition, one of the other hard-hit industries was the restaurants.
That's
and
right.
you're also a part of Atria's and Juniper Grill.
That's right.
So talk about, I know recently in the news, there's this big thing going on where the restaurants are kind of fighting back, right? And they're
They are.
saying, help us figure out how the hell this makes sense.
That's right.
So
Yeah, I mean, so you close down, and I think I mentioned this before. So Juniper Grill, we're part of the Cranberry location, and the Cranberry location sits in Butler County. So when Allegheny County shut down, basically at 100%, Butler was still allowed to stay open. So there's a different climate between even your locale, even though we're still considered Pittsburgh, right? Which is challenging because
Sure.
people then from Allegheny County decide we're going to travel just a couple miles north and we're going to head up to Butler County. So
Right.
Juniper Grill in the north didn't really get impacted nearly as much as the Craft House. We had to shut down Craft House. We're still shut down right now. And I believe we're aiming for the 24th of this month.
Right.
Now, Juniper Grill, still, my wife and I just went to have dinner 2 weeks ago. It's scarce, right? So people were setting up tents outside.
Sure.
Now we're in Pittsburgh, and I was just talking to somebody else who's going to be on here. Pittsburgh isn't known for pleasant winters.
Right.
So we're going to experience that outside venue
Right.
and opportunity to sit down also challenging.
Sure.
So, I don't know what's going to happen. It's a matter of listening, staying in tune. But every restaurant and every entrepreneur in the restaurant business is impacted in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And so this coalition that's trying to push back a little bit on the state has a right to do that.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And they have a right to say, this is our livelihood,
Yeah.
and how are we going to survive? We need some better direction or different direction because we're probably going to do it anyway.
Right.
And that's what I'm
Exactly.
hearing.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah, and if just the politics of it all was one thing, but if people would just listen to, look, you're a business owner. If I own a restaurant, I probably want to cheat a little to my favor, right? But in the meantime, I can help advise the politicians on how I can do this, right? So nobody's asked, right?
That's right.
Nobody's ever
That's it.
asked.
That's
They just said
exactly
make some
right.
rules, right? So yeah, so they should listen. Listen, I know we have to let you go because we have to eat
Wait a
and all
minute.
that kind
Wait a
of
minute.
stuff. But
Wait a minute. We didn't even talk about the vending. Like,
I
we
know
only
that's
went
where I
through
know that's exactly
music and restaurants.
that's where I was headed.
John.
That's where I was headed. So
John.
I know we have to let you go at some point. So
Good, 'cause I'm gonna
let's-
melt away.
We are not going to let you go. What is the music vending machine? I'm so
So-
intrigued by this.
But set it up. I told Chris, here's how it was going. You and I are walking, and I texted my brother and said, what is that awesome idea Chris had that he created a vending machine? Because you could vend so many things, but from
You
a
could.
musician standpoint, tell Living with Monsters what they could have.
Well, they could. Now here's the caveat. It wasn't selling as much in the COVID situation and a
Sure.
little bit prior to that. So we actually pulled the vending machines out.
Okay.
But I will explain what we did. So we got vending machines, and this was the drummer from Total 80s, Justin Page, and I. We actually created a vending machine that only sold musical equipment.
Right?
So-
Guitar picks,
Yeah.
drumsticks, you name it.
Drumsticks, guitar strings,
Yes.
batteries, just
And
cables.
where did you put the machines? In
We
the
actually
green
had
room?
one at right. We had one at Ross Park Mall. We had one at 448 Studios, was where we actually rehearsed.
Okay.
And people would go to this, and so if you want to go to and stuff or pianos and stuff, right? It's closed.
Yeah.
I think it's not even open on Wednesdays, right?
Yeah.
So how do you get a guitar string when it breaks?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't.
You
So you go
don't.
to the vending machine 24/7.
Oh,
So if
It's
somebody
so
else wants to
clever.
come
I
up
love
with this
that.
grandiose idea,
Yeah.
feel free to reach out because I
Yeah.
can help you with it.
I love it.
But again,
fun.
it's what
It's
you
like-
capitalized on what you learned and what
Yeah.
you need in a pinch. Because let's face it, we're still a music city. I love it.
Look,
That's right.
look how many hockey rinks sell skate laces by vending machine,
Exactly.
right? And because you need it now, you can't wait. Yeah, I love
That's
it.
right.
I love it.
Yeah.
Chris, this is awesome. Well, we always love hanging out with you, and
We have to have him on, like, do some kind of like quarterly thing.
Right.
But we are
we're gonna
gonna tailgate at your place. We already decided. We're
Excellent.
gonna go tailgate.
Okay.
We're gonna be at the Craft House.
At the
too.
All
Craft
right,
House.
we're gonna be there.
Do you love
Yep.
it?
Trees, yeah. And
That'll
we're-
be one of our first ones.
And when were you gonna get Rachel to sing with Totally 80s?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, that's
It
good.
depends on when we can actually have them play out.
Right.
Or me and Chris will just do it. I'm not
Do it.
afraid. Sean Pierce came on and taught. He said,
Do you have a
ever
watermelon
heard
ukulele at
Rachel
all?
sing? Of course. Yes.
Just so happens.
Oh my yes, I do.
Wow. All right, our question of the day.
So, Chris,
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you so much for coming. And listen.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate
Where
it.
does everybody follow you though? Like, you're not with Totally 80s, but you're staying in touch with everything. Musicians, foodies, everything. How do they follow you?
FusionEntertainment.com, and that's Fusion with a Z.
Yep.
Yep.
Got it.
Check it out.
Right?
Check it out. Yeah.
My wife and I are running the business now.
Okay.
And we book bands at all locations. So just reach out and have a conversation and give you some guidance from a musician perspective, a venue perspective, and a booking management perspective.
I love it.
And Chris, one last question: have you ever been on a podcast where you sweated so much?
I don't believe so. You probably
Chris.
didn't see me sweat nearly as much the last time. Yeah, but I lost 20 pounds. So I
Thank
appreciate
God
it.
you had the forethought to wear a black T-shirt. I can't even.
Well, I'm thinner in black.
After you're done talking and answering our question of the day, Bill, he's going to walk over there and talk to you two. So
Sweet.
get your game on. I hope
Yeah.
we gave you enough time to stall so you could talk about living with monsters. But Chris, if you're sitting on your porch, because we know you have a great home as well, because you're in real estate too, right?
I am, yeah.
I didn't know if I was going to go into that as well because he's a jack of all trades. But essentially, are you a coffee sipper? Are you an afternoon iced tea delighter? Or are you like sipping on some
Yeah, so
like,
we're
alcohol at night?
we're option 1 and 3.
Yeah, that seems to be the
Right?
commonality
2,
here. Yeah.
I'm nose
Skip
to the
it.
grindstone. You
Yeah.
know, I drink my coffee. The sun comes into our deck a little bit
Sure.
too prominently in the morning,
Sure.
but nighttime,
Yeah,
that's good stuff.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah,
Awesome.
absolutely.
Chris, always a pleasure. Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
Coming up, we're going
That
to
was
talk
awesome.
to the guy at YMCA,
The
Western
guy.
Pennsylvania. So, Rach, the funny thing is,
What's
Jay says, "Hey, my friend in the neighborhood works with the YMCA." We're
Works with.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, let's bring him on the
Yeah.
podcast. So, not to be creepy, but we like to do research on our guests, and we look up, like president and CEO of
He's
the
the
YMCA
guy.
of
Yeah,
Pittsburgh,
yeah.
Greater Pittsburgh,
Little friendly
Pennsylvania.
trolling never hurt anyone. Right.
Neighborhood trolling.
He just
Yeah.
said you Googled the wrong guy.
Right. Yeah.
So thank you
Wow.
for coming on the Jagoff podcast. You're
Yeah.
Jay's neighbor, which we'll get to in a few minutes. But first of all, thanks, and tell us about the YMCA. Such a golden history and all that kind of stuff. But here in Pittsburgh and how it all started.
But he has
Yeah,
always
yeah,
been with the YMCA. Did you
Yeah.
know that? That's his legacy.
Yeah, this has been my thing for 20 years, but we've been here for 175 and in the country and 165 here in Pittsburgh. So, tremendous history, lots of different communities that we do serve, have served, continue to serve. It's a tremendous organization. I love it. It's, there are some 800 plus chartered YMCAs across the country. We are one of those 800, but it's an international movement. It's an incredible organization.
What is the first question you're asked for people who really don't understand what a YMCA is?
So we're the village people.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a shot in the arm, right?
Gotcha.
You're like, we're the dance.
Right. I think the biggest thing is just trying to get people to understand that it's not just a gym and swim.
Yes.
That we do have so many more things that we do, so many different ways that we serve our communities. And so I think that for a lot of people is the greatest understanding that they start to pick up when they learn that, we've got a food distribution program in Homewood and Hazelwood. Mm-hmm. When they learn that we're out in at the Allegheny Y, we've got some 95 men who live there. So it's just understanding that beyond the treadmills, beyond the Group X classes, there's so many other things going on.
But how does the organization keep the mission going? I know, does it focus on religion?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So the name is very much a misnomer right now.
Okay.
Young Men's Christian Association. We're definitely not just for young people.
Sure.
Definitely not for men.
Right.
Just for men.
Right.
More than half of our membership are women. Definitely not just Christian. All different religions, all different people. Everybody comes to us. The only thing that you can say still applies is association.
Sure.
So we are an association of organizations across this country that looks different in every community that you go to. We always say that if you visit a Y, if you've seen one Y, you've seen one Y. Ys look different in every community that they're in because they're set up to deliver and serve the needs of that local community.
Real, I did.
And so they're going to be different in how they're designed, how they're equipped, how they are function, how they're programmed in just about every community across the country.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
did not
know
realize that because I thought I
And
did.
we've been, I think I told you before we started recording, for years we were members of the Swickley Y.
Yeah.
That's right. We knew it as the pool. That's where we took the kids, right?
Or like he said, beyond the treadmill, beyond, or dodgeball.
Right.
Remember we did dodgeball at Allegheny.
So when, now you do house people.
Yes. We have, up until just recently, we've had 2 facilities where we house men. Right now it's just one. We have the Allegheny Y. We just worked out, essentially just closed on a new relationship with a different organization that now allows us to kind of transition one of those facilities off to another organization. But right now at our Allegheny Y, we have some 92 men who live there. And I think the thing we always try to tell people is that when you see men who are living in these places, they are not homeless. I think people have a certain understanding or belief of men who live in these congregate housing locations. These are not homeless guys.
Right.
These are guys who are, frankly, the working poor. These are the guys who, in many cases, when you go to restaurants downtown, those that are still open, they're the ones who are prepping meals, who are cleaning tables. These are the people who you see every day.
The grinders.
The grinders.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they just happen to call the YMCA home.
And I think it's a good point also. So I'm in the North Hills area.
Yep.
And I know that we refer to the Y, as you said, there's an easy reference depending on where you are, as the after school program.
Yeah.
So I have to ask, and COVID obviously is the elephant in the room, right? Everybody, we're wearing masks because of it. How has COVID, affected the YMCA? It seems to have given you an even bigger spotlight to say, hey, these are the things that we're able to do. Am I right on that?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit, I think there's the positives and the obvious negatives that come from it. The positives that I would say are we've been able to stretch ourselves more in this time of COVID than we've ever done before.
Okay.
We've served more meals. We've delivered more meals. The work that we continue to do with the guys who are in our housing locations, direct outreach to seniors. We've worked that in now as just a regular part of what we do because while most of us were shut in for 3 months before it started to relax a bit, most of our seniors couldn't get out the house. So we started calling all of our seniors, all of our members, just to check on them, just to see how you're doing.
Sure.
So that aspect of the outreach of our work has only grown. The negative side of it is, COVID is probably the worst thing that can happen to a service-based organization like the YMCA.
Sure.
We thrive based on the ability to operate membership locations, based on the ability to run day camps and resident camps and overnight camps. And now going into the season with after-school programming, we thrive based on those programs or the programs that sustain YMCAs. But in many cases, all of those programs have been taken away or limited in part or in full.
Sure.
So, these are very difficult times.
Of the times.
These are very difficult times for
More
YMCA.
business there where, the gym side raises money so that we can do these outreach programs, or is it each one separate?
No, the operations that we have that people see, that the normal person sees when they come in to go onto a to fitness floor or lift weights or whatever, that work, having that type of a membership essentially pays for the facility. Pays for the core staff who are there to provide those programs and provide those services. So now what we've seen is we still continue to have some 65% of our members who have stayed with the Y. We're internally grateful for that, but that still means that now some 35-40% are not. So it becomes even more difficult for us to sustain the regular fixed cost of facilities like that. So when you ask about, how do you help the Y, how do you support the Y, all YMCAs do an annual campaign every year where we ask people to support the work that we do out in the community. We're starting that program again now. And, as I shared with some of my volunteers just earlier this week, you couldn't have had a more difficult time to run a campaign like this or a more opportune time to run a campaign like this.
Exactly.
The difficulty in it is many of the members and people who have supported that campaign who would come into our buildings every day who we can talk to, they're not coming into our buildings. But I think now when we talk about the opportunity to really communicate to the public what we do, we're doing more now than we've ever done.
Now, we talked earlier that you've been with Y forever, but you've only been in Pittsburgh a few years. What's your favorite thing about Pittsburgh? Or prior to this, what was your favorite place to live?
Oh, gosh,
and then what's your favorite thing about Pittsburgh?
So the Y has given me an opportunity to move around a little bit. Lived in Detroit for 10 years, lived in Miami for 3, lived here now for going on 11.
So you were here the longest.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it depends upon the time of year. You say wintertime, Miami's a great place to be. It's a great place to be. Summertime, it's excruciatingly hot. But we moved here because of how Pittsburgh rated. At the time when we were in Miami, we knew we wanted to start a family. My wife and I wanted to start a family, but we knew we didn't want to do that in Miami. We wanted to raise a family in a place that was more family-centric. And so Pittsburgh is definitely the community that's much more family-centric.
Isn't that
and
great
with my
to hear?
family and Virginia and my wife's family, who just left today, are in Detroit, this works as a really good kind of layover station between the two.
You notice he's glad he has a mask on because his wife and family just left, and you couldn't tell he was smiling.
They are wonderful people. They are wonderful people.
Yeah, you do. Well, we appreciate, and it's so funny because Off the Radar is kind of like the thing. Everybody thinks of the song and whatever, and there's certain all these other organizations that help, and the food bank are all making waves in the news every day, and you're thinking like, wait, the YMCA is doing very similar work, and
it's difficult times really for all nonprofits.
Yes.
And while you heard Lenny talk, and God bless him that his company hasn't really suffered in COVID.
Absolutely.
I can say it's the exact opposite for the Y. The same discomfort that people have coming together for backyard parties or whatever else, people don't come into YMCAs right now. But going into our Ys, I could say they've never been any cleaner than what they are now. But I think it's going to take time for people to feel comfortable coming back into public spaces.
But you do have that operational their ability now.
Yes. We have 5 of our locations are open right now, and then we've got some 7 different summer camp locations that are open, and now we're ramping up for after school care.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you being just the guy from the YMCA popping by the podcast.
Just the guy.
President and CEO.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to put him on the spot, but we think we might have some more to talk about with him as far as Pittsburgh being welcoming. So
I love it.
Don't forget that. Because
Different discussion, different beverage.
Yeah. There you go. So we can't
I like that.
And so we can't let you go without our question of the day, which is basically, what are you sipping on? Are you a coffee in the morning porch guy? Are you an iced tea in the afternoon guy? Are you having that Jack Daniel's little something spike thing at night?
I've become a whiskey guy.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
So I try to make it. I'm a 5:30 p.m. on the porch whiskey guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Straight on the rocks, whatever.
On the rocks.
Okay.
On the rocks. As soon as the sun goes down enough on the front porch, that's when I'll be out there.
It's
with
time.
whiskey.
It's whiskey time.
That's when you bring out the Yeti and have a little
There you go. I love it.
Yeah.
And then just before you go, if you could let everybody know, where do we find information on the YMCA's, whether it's Facebook, social media in general, or just
Yeah,
online?
Facebook, you can go to pittsburghymca.org. On Instagram, you can go to YMCA PGH. So we're around, and definitely please visit.
How
Please,
many
you know,
times have you been
support
at a
your
party
wife.
when someone asks you to do the dance?
Oh God, no! The worst thing is when you go to weddings and that damn song comes on, and whenever it comes on, you just walk out of the room. You just walk out of
I
the
love
room.
that.
It's
I love it.
horrible.
I love it. Kevin,
Yeah.
thank you so
Hey,
much for coming
hey,
on the
thank
YaJagoff
you all.
podcast.
Hey,
Coming
thanks
up,
for coming to the
we're gonna talk
neighborhood.
Living with Monsters. Cool. All right, dudes. We are winding down this porch tour at Jay Obertance's and Ethan's house. And I literally forgot how good you guys are.
I didn't forget.
You know,
That's
like
crazy
we
cool
were
to hear.
hanging out at Carmody's, not Carmody's, and you guys played. And
That was a blast, too.
Then we did the Facebook Live thing. And then today I'm like, Jesus, I miss those guys. And no,
We
it's
miss you too.
totally cool.
Yeah, we miss you too.
Your
We miss you too.
original music is so good.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, not that, listen, I'm just a listener, right? I'm not like, any kind of music entrepreneur like Chris Murphy, but Jesus. So how have you guys been through the COVID? What are you guys doing with that kind of stuff? How are you surviving?
Killing the industry, right?
Yeah, right. It is killing the
Struggle.
industry. It's really tough. We were actually talking to Chris before, after you guys talked about how we had, so many cool goals lined up where we were actually getting ready to like check the box on a couple places that we wanted to play and things that were like awesome. And then, COVID hit and it's like, all right, well, let's try to reposition a little bit. And then you get knocked down and you want to keep playing again. And so I don't know. I mean, hanging in. Thankfully, we both have families. So that can be like the main focus all of the time. And all of this just doesn't matter anymore, when you got kids or you're playing in the backyard with those guys. So I don't know. I guess hanging in, trying to play on our own time. By ourselves, trying to get together as much as we can through the whole
That
thing.
was going to be my question. Do you still? Because that was kind of your big thing. You guys still got together and
Yeah. Well, so this is Uncle Corey to my children, and I'm the same way, with his. So yeah, our families get to hang out. So him and I being together is kind of nothing new. So if we do want to hang out one night, you're bored, it's cool to be able to get together and do that, and not have to like, hey, how's it going? Do the thing,
Yeah,
exactly. Like us right now, right?
Yeah, right.
Well,
No, I hear
so you use the time well to write, right?
Yeah,
So
we-
does this mean you're coming out with an EEELP, extended LP?
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, we had a bunch of music to record coming into this year, and like that was like, it was like January. We were overwhelmed because we had, like Bill said, we had a lot of things on the schedule. We were going to get to play Mr. Smalls for the first time, which was like growing up. That's where that was our jam. So we were looking forward to that. It's like, all right, we got to sell tickets, but then also we wanted to get all this music out. So we've been like initially it was kind of like, all right, well, this is great. Let's like just take this time. Let's start recording and doing our thing. But as you know, like the COVID's complicated so many areas of life that with just trying to realign in business and like figuring out what the right moves are for our family, it's very difficult to do any like professional work. I mean, Bill and I get together all the time. We have guitars in our hands together like a couple times a week, but it's like, man, we came into this like very entrepreneurial, and it's been hard to maintain that like mindset through this, because it's almost like, all right, maybe we should just get back to the fun part of it and like start creating and see what comes out of us, rather than being like, let's like
worried about having all these things in line
Yeah.
that you got to knock off.
Yeah.
And it's like everything's different right now.
Kind of going back to the fun. Basic.
Well, it's not, I mean, like maybe as like a tool, not like, not saying like we're taking the band any less seriously, but I mean, like I haven't logged on to social media as like a practice since May 1st, and it's now like I have all this anxiety about getting back on there. You know what I mean? It's like, oh Jesus, like this is. But I think for us, it's like him and I, like in music or no matter what you're doing in 2020, it's like you have the product, and then you have to decide whether like you're going to be this brand around the product as like a person, right? So in order for us to stay like active all the time right now, like we would have to be to be honest, we would have to be showing us spending time with our family and doing like kind of going through these rigors of figuring things out. And it was never about that for us. Like this was like, hey, let's make good music and share the good music. So like right now it's like it's very hard to be like a marketing, like the marketing department for Living with Monsters, because it's like, we're just reassessing like our point of view of the world and how to deal with everything on a daily, and trying to still love music and stay honest with it. So like I think that's actually what him and I were just sitting over there talking about. Is like, how do we come back? And I think it's going to be like, you know, we have a ton of music to record, we have a ton of things to say, so it's just like when the time's right, we're going to release a bunch of stuff and we'll be right back on our grind. But right now it's like,
you make a really good point. One of the musicians we had on the other week, you know, I said, well, why don't you just release music? And he said, well, because then it's gone, right? Because if COVID doesn't come back if the real life doesn't come back for another 8-9 months, people are going to say, oh, I want to see these guys, but then they're going to want to hear more new music, right? Yeah. So it's kind of like a catch-22,
it is.
right?
Yeah. And it's like you got to be so. I mean, you know, right now it's the world's in such a fickle place, and I mean, you know, we're empathetic and cognizant of all of these things, and it's like a lot of the music we've been writing and the point of view we've had over the last couple of years of like, hey, we're, you know, young men, we're dads, we're like trying to figure out the world for ourselves and writing music about love and the, you know, losing love and all these things. And it's like, all right, well, hey, we have this song to write about, like, that kind of has this tone about meeting a girl in the bar and all this stuff, but it's like, I have no idea how to weave that into the social fabric right now, or like market that song, or like even be like proud of putting it out whenever like so many people seem to be hurting. So it's like,
oh, that's off color. You know what I mean? It's like, how do we have to think about that a little bit more? It's like, are we just unabashedly doing this and becoming ignorant? You know what I mean, to everything that's going on, and then it's like, oh, what are they doing?
Sit there and talk about COVID because it's depressing.
If you come out of here with 5 songs about COVID, we're going to be mad at you.
We don't want to do that.
Yeah, trust me, so would I. I'd be mad too.
But it's, you know, like dealing with real life through it. I mean, you know, just when I talked to you guys last time and we did the live stream, we were up at camp and my family, we quarantined in like Cook's Forest just to get away from everything.
Yeah.
We had the luxury of being able to hunker down in the little trailer, you know what I mean, in the woods, which was great. And but like it was weird because like we have a business and there's a lot of people that we feel responsible for, you know, keeping busy and keeping whole economically. And you know, Bill's company downsized during things, so he lost his job, his corporate gig, and just like, man, like you realize how like I don't know, delusional you can almost be about reality. Where like last year, it's like, oh, we're like everything we're worried about. Like we're like booking gigs. What are we gonna do? It's like, oh, we're going to DC. We're doing this. Who's gonna watch the kids? And now it's just like, can I send my kid to daycare like responsibly?
What does he have to do?
Right.
And then on top of that, like you talked about being up at Cook's Forest, that's the mode we were all in. Like, this will be done in a couple weeks. We'll all be good, right? You're just gonna
1 month down and we're
for a month and a half, and we're good. And here we are.
We're August. Yeah, right. For sure.
The good news is we're all resilient. We made it out of it, right? We're still trudging through. We wake up every morning, and we still have good lives ahead of us. But so, living with monsters. What's the next step after talking to Chris Murphy? We want to. Let's get some gigs, right?
Yeah, we'll play at his place a little bit.
Nice.
Which will be cool.
Yeah.
I was listening to this thing the other day, like you said, you're still here, and they were talking. It was a thing where they were talking about. I believe it was like Afghani women who were poets, right? And they would like expressing themselves in that way. I think like they don't have the freedom of expression in that country to get together and do that. And it's like these women have these poetry clubs where they'll get together and write poetry and share their poetry. And like the consequence is death. It's like if you find out about this, it's like, you know, it's like, that's how harsh this country is, and like their need to create and express themselves as creatives is like that powerful that they'll get together.
Wow,
and,
powerful enough. Yeah,
and like I think it's like for everyone here where it's like, oh man, yeah, the industry's killed this, that. It's like, yeah, it is, but we still have a bunch of ways to like whether you're broadcasting or you're
how
just
strong
like,
you want.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's just like, and you guys are here in a garage getting people together in a safe and like responsible way, and it's like, but it's like, but
less than 50.
No, but that's
studio. You mean studio?
This is the front porch. Yeah, front porch tour. But I mean, you gotta like, no matter how you do it, you gotta get it done.
Well, yeah,
like if you have the will to create,
the water
right?
finds the crack somewhere, right?
And
so
if the
that's
consequence,
the way we're all trying to figure out where we're gonna poke our head out next. So, living with monsters. Before we ask you the question of the day, where do they find you guys? How do they follow you?
livingwmonsters.com. They can find us on Instagram at living.with.monsters. They can find us on Facebook at Living with Monsters. I mean, we're pretty much everywhere. You can go find us there on all the social media accounts. I have actually since deleted every social media account that I own, so I'm off grid completely. But I still pop into the Instagram and the Twitter every now and then.
We're trying to figure that out. We're trying to figure this out as an operation, how we can not be disconnected but still
connected a touch.
Yeah, connected.
Yeah, right.
So Colin, YaJagoff Media could do their social media. Have you talked to them yet? I mean, seriously.
So we're in.
Let's go.
That's
okay,
it,
so
right?
we got a guy.
Listen, you guys, we truly enjoy your music. That's why we keep bringing you back. We hope that things work out with Chris.
Oh,
Whatever
we'll be
we
back.
do
So
to get
cool.
your name
Always.
out there.
Yeah, we'd
If
love it.
you guys saw this today, you know that you want to hear more. So check
Yeah,
them out.
we are
right?
not going to go away.
You're not
so-
going away.
No, we're not
Question
going
of
away.
the day. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you guys? I mean, we're not in a porch. We're in a garage. I get it. But does it get any better than this garage?
No, this is No.
Right?
Kidding me?
So if you're outside and you're drinking on your
Which we
porch,
are.
your veranda, your garage, are you doing the coffee thing in the morning, the iced tea thing in the afternoon, or are you guys sipping on, what do you have there, Michelob Ultra at night?
I mean, I almost think the answer is yes.
Yes.
To all of it.
I knew you were going to
Yeah.
say that.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. 'Cause, yeah.
What time is it?
I'll sneak out there in the morning. I'm an unfortunate cigarette smoker, so I'll sneak out there in the morning with some coffee and a cigarette.
All right.
Lunch, I'll find myself sneaking out, and I'm
Yeah.
always eating too. So. Yeah, and then at night,
Cigs and
cocktail
cognac.
on the porch isn't too
It's
bad.
cigs and cognac hour.
Exactly.
No, I'm the same way. I mean, I'm a very grateful owner of a medical marijuana card. So like, I'm also finding reasons.
Patience,
yeah.
It's freedom. Yeah, it's freedom.
But Pennsylvania just sent me my third one for the renewed it for the third year in a row. This is a real deal. So celebrating PA. Good job, guys.
There you go.
Yeah. But so I also find a reason to get outside for that, no matter the time of day and the time of year. But coffee to start the day. Usually do water and like unsweetened iced tea until like. End of the day, and I mean, I don't have cocktails and beers every day, but 3-4 nights a week, I'm gonna dabble in some tequila or some beers or some bourbon. Yeah, I mean,
There you go. If we were watching the Penguin games, John would say the same thing, but John threw himself on the floor when the Penguins lost the other day, so that's
I'm tortured by it. Why do you even bring it up?
Jesus, what happened?
You look complacent.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh,
complacent.
Stay alive. It makes me so angry. It makes me more
That was
almost
like-
as angry as driving Route 28. But
You're
not
like, I had so much. You were gonna have so much to talk about for these next couple of weeks. Now it's like, what?
At work?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. At work, around the water cooler.
Yeah, right.
Kitchen.
Yeah.
Kitchen making oatmeal. All right,
Well,
good
thank you
weekend.
guys. Thank you guys for being on the
Thanks for
podcast.
having
We
us.
have to thank, first of all, Ethan and Jay for having us
Yes.
come to their
Beautiful home.
and
Thank you so
just
much
a
for having
beautiful
us.
home. We have to thank you to Nikki for all of the food we've been
Check
eating.
her out, please. It is so important to, if you have any even small party, check her out because she's an event planner.
Thanks to Colin and Larry for always the support. Thanks to Mike Zacher. We have an intern.
Yeah.
We're the only podcast with an intern at this point? I think so. And thanks to Mary Mac Bakehouse. Thanks to Fathom Pub Sauce. Thanks to
Tatty Bogle. Why do you always throw
Tatty
that
Bogle.
in?
And thanks to Ernie Ritchie Sausage for the gifts they give all the owners.
Yeah, and thanks to Kevin from the YMCA. He's not just some guy who works there. He's the CEO.
That guy.
Bro.
Yeah.
And thank you to Chris Murphy, who, John Don, the music entrepreneur.
Yeah.
It's a great podcast. We thank everybody, but especially we thank Rory Conda.
And Jay's friends. Yeah. And thanks to Rory Conda. Don't forget.
We truly cannot keep up with the opportunities that Honda provides for purchasing the perfect used or new small car, family car, or maybe even first-time buyer car.
Just like the variety of options in vehicles, Rourke Honda is proud of its Rourke Advantage. Where else do you receive a full checkup on your vehicle when it's time to get your oil changed? So many perks are part of the Rourke Advantage. Just buy a car purchase, right? So, as always, visit Rourke.com for all of your vehicle needs.
Boom!